You're watching CBS7 News at 9 on the CW and live on the CBS7 YouTube channel with Alexandra Macia and Tom Tieferteller.
Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for watching us live on the CBS7 YouTube channel. I'm Mary Kate Hamilton in for Alexandra Macia. We start tonight with an update just into our newsroom. It's a story we first brought you Friday night on our Facebook page. You'll remember a man was shot by police after driving a front-end loaded tractor around the Wagner Noel parking lot and damaging property. He has been charged with one count of aggravated assault on a peace officer and was booked into the Ector County Jail tonight. His bond is set at $1 million. More charges are still expected through the investigation. According to UTPB, 31-year-old Jeremiah David Hall tried to enter the Wagner Noel but didn't have a ticket, so he was asked to leave. Then just after 10 p.m., he drove a tractor through the parking lot and onto Highway 191, purposely hitting UTPB and Odessa police vehicles. 5 UTPB officers then fired shots toward Hall. He was injured. Officers administered first aid and Hall was taken to the hospital. He is now in stable condition, and again, he has been booked into the Ector County Jail tonight. No guests or officers were injured. Per UT system police policy, the 5 UTPB officers involved in the shooting will be placed on paid administrative leave. That is pending the results of an investigation. The Texas Rangers will handle that investigation. A new environmental organization aimed at air pollution is completing field work in the Permian Basin. Oilfield Witness was launched last week. Its founders use special equipment to detect pollution that can't be seen with the naked eye. Founders Sharon Wilson and Miguel Escoto previously worked with environmental organization Earthworks. Wilson is a certified optical gas imaging thermographer, which means she's trained to use a special camera and interpret its images. Environmental organizations often use them to show invisible emissions. And while lit flares are easy to spot, there are also unlit flares that release pollution.
But when you can actually see it is very hard to deny. And the experience that we've had is to take someone to a site where all they see is steel infrastructure, and then they put that camera up to their face, and it is a different world.
They drive to various oil fields, park on public property, and then use their equipment to track emissions. They hope to show West Texans these images through tours. And we are a couple of weeks away from Election Day, but early voting started today. There are currently 5 open locations in Midland County. Meanwhile, Ector County has 3 locations that are open for early voting. Midland County will have a battle for District 7 between Brian Murray and Joshua Gwynn. And of course, Proposition A is the massive topic this year. For or against the issuance of a $1.4 billion school building bond for the design, construction, acquisition, rehabilitation, renovation, expansion, improvement, and equipment of school buildings in the district. That does include 2 new high schools, a middle school expansion, renovation, and improvement district-wide, as well as safety, security, and accessibility improvements.
You know, if you compare it to the last election that we just had the constitutional amendments on, our count is higher. If you compare it to the last school bond election, the numbers are a little bit lower right now, but I expect they'll pick up before the end of the day.
To vote, you had to register by October 10th. ECISD will also have things on the ballot for the November election that have to do with school and sports facility upgrades, including a bond election. If you'd like to know the nearest location on where you should go to vote, you can go to our website, CBS7.com. I will be a co-host for Basin PBS's School Bond Town Halls. You can watch the ECISD Town Hall tomorrow at 7 p.m. on PBS or join us there at the Ector Theater, I should say. The MISD Town Hall will be on Thursday, but don't worry, if you miss those times, we will be showing the town halls again on KWWT My 30. Those will be November 1st and November 6th, respectively. And if you voted early today, you may have had to brave the weather. Tom, it was pouring on my dinner break. It curled my hair a bit. More rain tomorrow, though?
Yeah, we are going to see more rain showers, thunderstorms in the forecast. But here's what's interesting. We've really added to the rainfall totals, zeroing in on 2 inches of rain out at the Midland International Air and Spaceport for today. That is a record amount of rain for today. So we're getting close to 5 inches plus above where on our yearly rainfall total, I should say, nowhere near normal, but at least we're seeing a big improvement. Nearly 7/10 of an inch of rain has fallen in Odessa, 1/4 inch in Big Spring, and just a little less than 1/2 inch around the Alpine area. You can see that the rain showers and occasional rumble of thunder continue to move across. New flash flood warnings in effect across portions of Midland County, including the city of Midland, for the possibility of flooding of low-lying areas as we picked up 1 to 2 inches of rain estimated across portions of north central Midland County right now. This goes until midnight tonight as we're seeing that band of heavier rain move across central eastern portions of the city of Midland. So travel is not recommended again across the city of Midland, north central Midland County. But it looks like things are trying to thin out a little bit rain wise as we move in towards the evening hours, as the bulk of the heavier rain is going to be pushing off to the east and northeast of the area as we move in towards the rest of the overnight. Added benefit to all the rain out there are cooler temperatures right now, sitting in the mid-60s.
In your education news, today UTPB celebrated 50 years since its opening in West Texas. UTPB started in 1973. At that time, they only had classes in portable buildings. Now it has athletics facilities, dorms, libraries, academic buildings. The Permian Group actually did a study on the economic impact that UTPB has, and it forecasts its future economic impact.
We have really amazing strategic goals over the next 50, and if we are able to achieve those goals, and we will achieve those goals, the economic impact to everyone in this community will be even greater. From our graduates that roll into the workforce, and the beautiful Wagner Noel Performing Arts Center, and the culture and the music and the art that come out of the university.
Over the next year, UTPB will continue to celebrate 50 years of educating West Texas. 3 Ector County students and 4 Midland students received the honor of National Commended Scholar, placing them in the top 2.5% in the nation. These students got this recognition because of their high performances on the PSAT last year. More than 1.3 million juniors nationwide took the PSAT in 2022, and only 34,000 got this award. Now, it doesn't come with a scholarship, but some may be candidates for special scholarships from the NMCS's sponsors. And it is still a testament to their hard work in high school and the effort the teachers put in to help them get to this point.
The recognition is affirming of all of the work that we've been putting in and pouring into these kids. It's a lot of work that the kids have been doing since they were in kindergarten, and they're getting recognized for that. So that's a blessing, and it's great for them.
Across all of ECISD, a record 50 students received national honors, with at least 2 coming from each of the district's 6 high schools. 5 more Ben Carson reading rooms officially opened today across Midland ISD. The Ben Carson Reading Group project is an initiative of the Carson Scholars Fund. They want to teach children to love to read and become proficient and enthusiastic readers. Schools that got a reading room include Burnett, De Zavala, Emerson, Santa Rita, and Scarborough Elementary.
This is for them just to go and have fun, enjoy reading, be inspired. You never know if the kid that's reading that planets book is going to be our next astronaut, or the kid that's reading books on dinosaurs is going to be the next paleontologist.
There are now 7 Ben Carson reading rooms that serve MISD students. And you're going to see the Bright Star Memorial. The column has the names of the victims of the 2019 mobile mass shooting in Odessa and the first responders that put a stop to the tragedy. In addition to the names on the artwork, it has quotes from survivors about what they went through on that tragic day in 2019. The cylinder is up in the UTPB library. That's where it will live until it gets its permanent place near the walking trail on campus.
There's a great sense of responsibility for myself and the university staff and the project managers to make sure that it is handled with care and is available to the public. So it's a lot different. I'm very proud of this, but I'm also, thinking about the people that we lost and thinking of the trauma of that day as well.
Again, the artwork will be there in the library until July, and then it will move to its permanent location in August in time for the 5-year anniversary. Hamas has released 2 more hostages from Gaza. The 2 Israeli women found freedom 3 days after an American mother and her teenage daughter were let go. CBS News correspondent Tina Kraus is in Tel Aviv with the latest on the war.
It's okay, let's go. Video distributed by Hamas appears to show 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz shake hands with one of her captors as they set her free. Lifshitz and 79-year-old Nurit Cooper crossed into Egypt with the help of the International Red Cross. Hamas kidnapped the women from their homes on Kibbutz Nir Oz, the site of one of the massacres in southern Israel. Their husbands are still held captive in Gaza. The Israeli military released this video showing Hamas militants firing at cars the day of the attack and checking their casualty count after. President Biden was asked if the U.S. supported the exchange of hostages for a potential ceasefire. Hamas says the death toll in Gaza has climbed above 5,000. Israel has stepped up deadly airstrikes ahead of its expected ground invasion. Displaced Palestinians took shelter Monday after a third convoy of aid trucks entered a border crossing from Egypt. But experts say it's still not enough to stem the growing humanitarian crisis. The U.S. has advised Israel to delay a ground invasion to buy time for negotiations aimed at freeing more hostages. In central Israel, grief mixed with hope as people gathered to celebrate the birthday of 9-year-old Ohad, believed to be held hostage in Gaza.
I hope he's celebrating some way. I hope his mother is hugging him. God bless them. And we must free them now, today, so we can reach 10 at least.
Ohad, his mother, and 2 grandparents are among more than 200 people taken by Hamas on October 7th. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Nearly 3 weeks into the process, and House Republicans need to find a new candidate to be the Speaker of the House. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan dropped out on Friday after he realized he couldn't get enough votes to win the speakership. Natalie Brand has more details from the Hill.
On day 20 without a Speaker of the U.S. House, Republicans are starting the process all over again.
This is probably one of the most embarrassing things I've seen, because if we don't have a Speaker of the House, we can't govern. And every day it goes by, we're essentially shut down as a government. 9
candidates are now vying for the gavel. They'll make their case to their colleagues behind closed doors Monday evening. Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer, who is already in a House leadership position as Majority Whip, has won the support of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
He sets himself head and shoulders above all those others who want to run. We need to get him elected this week and move on.
Congressman Emmer and one other candidate, Georgia's Austin Scott, are the only 2 on the list of Speaker hopefuls who voted to certify the 2020 election. But Emmer's vote could put him at odds with ardent supporters of former President Donald Trump.
Well, I think he's my biggest fan now because he called me yesterday and he told me I'm your biggest fan. So I don't know about that.
Internal GOP divisions have made it impossible so far for any one lawmaker to gain the 217 votes needed for a majority on the House floor. Yet Republicans are hoping to unite behind a Speaker nominee as early as tomorrow. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. See all of these stories and more by downloading our app or go to our website. That's CBS7.com. Plus, still ahead here at 9 o'clock, an off-duty pilot attempted to shut down the engines of a plane mid-flight. We have the latest up next. An off-duty pilot is charged with 83 counts of attempted murder after authorities say he tried to shut down the engines of a jetliner mid-flight. CBS's Danya Bacchus has the latest.
The call to air traffic control came Sunday night from Horizon Air Flight 2059.
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit.
Authorities say an off-duty pilot riding in the cockpit jump seat of the flight from Everett, Washington to San Francisco tried to shut down the engines mid-flight.
We want law enforcement as soon as we get on the ground and park.
The flight was diverted to Portland. 44-year-old Joseph Emerson, an off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot, was arrested and now faces 83 counts of attempted murder and reckless endangerment. Alaska Airlines, which owns Horizon Air, released a statement saying the jump seat occupant unsuccessfully attempted to disrupt the operation of the engines. The Horizon captain and first officer quickly responded. Engine power was not lost and the crew secured the aircraft without incident. The airline also said no weapons were involved. The Federal Aviation Administration sent a message to airlines saying the incident is not connected in any way, shape, or form to current world events. The FBI is now investigating. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
When the jump seat, a third seat in the cockpit, is occupied, it's often filled by an off-duty pilot. But the seat can be used by other airline employees or federal safety inspectors.
We are going to be looking at a little more rain in our forecast already, picking up nearly 2 inches today out at the Midland International Air and Spaceport. And we're going to add to that. We'll talk about it coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look outside at a dreary evening across the area. Off and on rain continues with a flash flood warning now in effect across the city of Midland for runoff that could cause some flooding of low-lying areas as we picked up nearly 2 inches of rain out at the Midland National Air and Spaceport. Nearly 7/10 of an inch of rain again in the city of Odessa. You can see where the bulk of the heavier rain has been today. We're seeing a lot of it start to shift off to the north and east, but still dealing with some pockets of rain moving right across the city of Midland right now, where Odessa starting to thin out. Still a little bit of drizzle out there, maybe an occasional shower, but the heaviest stuff has been across the city of Midland. Estimates of 1 to 2 inches of rain falling here over the past couple of hours or so associated with the thunderstorm showers, I should say. Then they're moving across, picking up a couple of thunder showers back here across portions of Crockett County, just south of Ira and near Sheffield at the present time, but again, starting to thin out quite a bit for the time being. So the remnants of Norma are moving across rather quickly into north central Texas. Now you can see some of the drier air in place ahead of the next trough low pressure system back here across the southwest U.S. That'll be visiting West Texas late tomorrow into the early part of Wednesday with some more scattered showers and thunder showers, but the bulk of the rain right now extending from the Permian Basin over towards the Big Country and north central Texas. Also, they had some heavier rain up towards the Lubbock area too. It's knocked down temperatures quite a bit. Current temperatures really kind of lows for today into the mid to lower 60s out there across portions of West Texas. A little cooler over towards Dallas-Fort Worth at 74 as some rain is starting to come down. Now taking a look at the West Texas Futurecast showing things starting to clear out overnight tonight. So our next chance of rain is going to be later on tomorrow afternoon. Some isolated thunder shower possibilities, but heavier rain trying to move in from west to east as we move in towards the early part of Wednesday morning, and the possibility is still there for isolated spots. Seeing some flooding across the area, better chance across the eastern Permian Basin. So again, we'll see the showers continue till about the midnight hour and come back later on tomorrow into early on Wednesday with some heavier rain a possibility and watching out for flooding. And then things dry out, clear up just in time for the weekend before a much stronger cold front arrives on Sunday, and that's going to bring our first Arctic air, it looks like, of the fall season to our forecast just in time for Halloween.
Still ahead, firearm death rates are down, and is toddler milk really as nutritious as it may seem? We have the answers next in your health headlines. After consecutive years of increases, the rate of firearm-related homicides in the United States has decreased slightly in 2022. That's according to the CDC. This is the first time the national firearm homicide rate has fallen since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Between 2019 and 2020, the overall firearm homicide rate increased about 35%. It increased again in 2021, and CDC researchers attribute the increase in firearm-related homicide deaths to a range of factors, including social and healthcare related inequities, which were all worsened by the pandemic. And toddler milk may seem like a healthy option for your child, but a new report finds the products offer literally no nutritional benefit. The American Academy of Pediatrics published a clinical report Friday finding no nutritional benefits to formulas marketed for toddlers between 6 months and 36 months of age. While infant formulas are a nutritionally complete dietary source designed for babies from birth to 12 months, toddler milk is not the same as infant milk, nor is it even necessary for toddlers. Unlike infant formula, the Food and Drug Administration does not regulate toddler milk. It is not federally mandated to meet certain nutritional requirements. Experts say you don't have to toss your supply of toddler milk in the trash, but make sure your child is eating a balanced diet with 5 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables a day and drinking cow's milk. Still ahead, animals at the London Zoo celebrate Halloween early with some pumpkin treats. It's a classic. We'll see you after the break.
Well, flash flood warnings remain in effect across north central portions of Midland County, including the city of Midland. So be careful traveling. It's not really recommended. You need to watch those low water crossings as the rain's going to start to come to an end by midnight. But more rain on the way late tomorrow into early Wednesday.
Turn around, don't drown. Thanks for joining us.